Be ready for the dictation. Start. Rape is one of the most heinous crimes committed against a woman. Stop. It insults womanhood. Stop. It violates the dignity of a woman and erodes her honor. Stop. It dwarfs her personality and reduces her confidence level. Stop. It violates her right to life guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Stop. If such is the traumatic impact that rape could and does have on an adult victim, we can only guess what impact it could have on a girl child, and yet it is not a criminal offense in the terms of exception to Section 375 of the IPC, but is an offense under the POCSO Act only. Stop. An anomalous state of affairs exists on a combined reading of the IPC and the POCSO Act. Stop. An unmarried girl below 18 years of age could be a victim of rape under the IPC and a victim of penetrative sexual assault under the POCSO Act. Stop. Such a victim might have the solace of prosecuting the rapist. Stop. A married girl between 15 and 18 years of age could be a victim of aggravated penetrative sexual assault under the POCSO Act, but she cannot be a victim of rape under the IPC if the rapist is her husband, since the IPC does not recognize such penetrative sexual assault as rape. Stop. Therefore, such a girl child has no recourse to law under the provisions of the IPC, notwithstanding that 20/2013 9 SCC 431 WP C number 382 of 2013 page 43, the marital rape could degrade and humiliate her, destroy her entire psychology, pushing her into a deep emotional crisis and dwarf and destroy her whole personality and degrade her very soul. Stop. However, such a victim could prosecute the rapist under the POCSO Act. Stop. We see no rationale for such an artificial distinction. Stop. Similarly, the provisions of the POCSO Act makes it quite explicit that the dignity and rights of a child below 18 years of age must be recognized and respected. Stop. For this purpose, special provisions have been made in the POCSO Act, as for example Section 28 thereof, which provides for the establishment of a special court to try offences under the Act. Stop. Section 29 of the POCSO Act provides that where a person is prosecuted for committing or abetting or attempting to commit an offence under Section 3 or under Section 5, then the special court shall presume that such a person has committed or abetted or attempted to commit the offence unless the contrary is proved. Stop. Similarly, the procedure and powers of a special court have been delineated in Section 33 of the POCSO Act, and this section provides for not only a child-friendly atmosphere in the special court but also child-friendly WP C number 382 of 2013, page 63, procedures, some of which are given in subsequent sections of the statute. Stop. Only once again the legislative slant is in favor of a child, thereby giving substantive meaning of Article 15(3) of the Constitution. Stop. However, of much greater importance and significance is Section 42A of the POCSO Act. Stop. This section provides that the provisions of the POCSO Act are in addition to and not in derogation of the provisions of any other law in force, which includes the IPC. Stop. Moreover, the section provides that in the event of any inconsistency between the provisions of the POCSO Act and any other La. The provisions of the POCSO Act shall have overriding effect. Stop. It follows from this that even though the IPC decriminalizes the marital rape of a girl child, the husband of the girl child would nevertheless be liable for punishment under the provisions of the POCSO Act for aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Stop. Prima facie, it may appear that since rape is an offence under the IPC, subject to exception to section 375, while penetrative sexual assault or aggravated penetrative sexual assault is an offence under the POCSO Act, and both are distinct and separate statutes. Therefore, there is no inconsistency between the provisions of the IPC and the provisions of the POCSO Act. Stop. However, the fact is that there is no real distinction between the definition of rape under the IPC and the definition of penetrative sexual assault under the WP-C number 382 of 2013, page 64, POCSO Act. Stop. There is also no real distinction between the rape of a married girl child and aggravated penetrative sexual assault punishable under Section 6 of the POCSO Act. Stop. Additionally, the punishment for the respective offences is the same, except that the marital rape of a girl child between 15 and 18 years of age is not rape in view of exception to Section 375 of the IPC. Stop. In sum, marital rape of a girl child is effectively nothing but aggravated penetrative sexual assault, and there is no reason why it should not be punishable under the provisions of the IPC. Stop. Therefore, it does appear that only a notional or linguistic distinction is sought to be made between rape and penetrative sexual assault and rape of a married girl child and aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Stop. There is no rationale for this distinction, and it is nothing but a complete arbitrary and discriminatory distinction.